18th of Evening Star, 4th Era, 186. As I begin this new phase of my life, I've decided to finally keep a journal. So much has happened to me thus far, both within the Brotherhood and without. When I think there is no record of what has transpired, it almost seems an affront to Sithis himself. So I am determined to make amends. Yes, the Dark Brotherhood has its own scribes and chroniclers, but it is their solemn task to record those events deemed important to the organization as a whole. Let this volume serve as a personal record of one man, a lowly assassin who has pledged his blade and his life for the Dark Brotherhood. 23rd of Evening Star, 4th Era, 186. I have arrived safely in the Cheydinhal Sanctuary, and I have been greeted warmly by Rasha and the others. Indeed, the level of support and acceptance shown by my new family is rather overwhelming, for this sanctuary knows suffering, knows sorrow, for the ghosts of purification still haunt its halls. So who better to understand the plight of a brother who has lost home and heart? Who better to comfort one whose sanctuary is no more? The Bruma Sanctuary may be gone, but my dearest brothers and sisters will live forever in my dreams, just as their souls live forever by the Dread Father's side. First of Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 187. Completed the Baroness contract. She died well. Her handmaiden, less so. 12th of Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 187. Cheydinhal suits me. With the destruction or abandonment of the other sanctuaries, our contracts are plentiful, as are our bonuses. Still, we seem to be losing our footholds throughout Tamriel at an alarming rate. There are rumors that the Black Hand is split on our continued direction. Some favor expansion and others consolidation. My personal feeling is that the Dark Brotherhood needs to, at the very least, maintain the illusion of being everywhere at once. It has become exceedingly difficult to fulfill or even establish contracts in provinces where we no longer have a physical presence, like Hammerfell. The more we ignore Tamriel, the more people lose faith in the Dark Brotherhood, our power, our services, our dedication to the Void. 27th of Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 187. The listener, Alison Dupree, has been visiting with us for several days down from her private residence in Breville. She and Rasha have been discussing the possibility of reopening the Shadowscale training facility of Akron in Black Marsh, but ultimately decided we lacked the resources to follow through with the plan. 27th of Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 187. Completed the arena contract. I ultimately decided to pose as a starstruck fan and immediately got into the Grand Champion's good graces. While escorting the arrogant fool through the great forest, I slashed his throat and left the corpse for the bears. 7th of Sun's Height, 4th Era, 188. Wayrest is lost. The city fell to Corsairs, and it's just a matter of time before the sanctuary is breached. May the Night Mother watch over her children in their hour of need. 5th of Last Seed, 4th Era, 188. We received word today. The Wayrest Sanctuary was raided and destroyed by the Corsairs. There were no survivors. There are now only 3 active Dark Brotherhood strongholds remaining. The Cheydinhal Sanctuary, here in the Imperial Province, a remote sanctuary located in a forest in Skyrim, and the Corinth Sanctuary of Eliswir. The Black Hand has ordered the Corinth Sanctuary closed and its members integrated into our own ranks here in Cheydinhal. I will embrace those new family members as warmly as I was when I first made my home here. 27th of Hearthfire, 4th Era, 188. The situation in Breville grows more dire. The city has erupted in violence due to a war of control being waged by Cyrodiil's two largest skooma traffickers. The listener, Alessandre Dupree, has been forced to employ cell swords to protect her own residence. First of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 188. Things in Breville have come to a head. The statue of the lucky old lady has been destroyed, and Alessandre Dupree has left her residence to guard the crypt of the Night Mother, hidden below the remains of the statue. If the crypt is discovered, Alessandre Dupree will, of course, protect the remains of the unholy matron until her dying breath. Rasha is sending Garnag and Andronica to aid in the crypt's defense. I begged to accompany them, but Rasha wouldn't have it. He says my place is here, defending the sanctuary, and I must of course respect that decision. 12th of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 188. Botched my contract and forfeited the bonus. The silk merchant was already cold, and I was halfway through the window when her daughter stepped into the room. I had little choice at that point. 21st of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 188. So much has happened since my last entry. After Garnag and Andronica left for Breville, we stopped receiving communications from the city. We feared the worst. This morning, those fears were confirmed when Garnag returned alone, transporting a most precious cargo, the great stone coffin of the Night Mother herself. The story Garnag told could curl the blood of even the most hardened of Sithis' servants. The crypt of the Night Mother raided, dearest sister Andronica cut to pieces, and the listener herself, the most honored Alessandre Dupree, burned alive in a storm of mage fire. Garnag, though gravely injured, he will most certainly lose his right eye, managed to fend off the attackers and transport the Night Mother's coffin safely out of the city. He has been on the road making his way back here since that tragic night. 23rd of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 188. Now that things have settled down, the reality of our situation has finally come to bear. We are a dark brotherhood without a listener. With no listener, the Black Sacrament will go unheard. Surely the Night Mother will speak to someone soon, thus choosing a new listener to take Alessandre Dupree's place. Until that happens, though, we must take to the streets. We must hear the pleas of the desperate and vengeful. The people of Tamriel must never know, that their prayers to the Night Mother are going unheeded. 24th of Morning Star, 4th Era, 189. It is a new year, and 2 months since the Night Mother first arrived here at the Cheydinhal Sanctuary, and still the unholy matron has not seen fit to speak to any one of us. And so, Rasha has decided to revive an ancient Dark Brotherhood tradition, the appointing of a keeper, a guardian whose sole duty is the safeguarding of the Night Mother's remains. The remaining members of the Black Hand will make their decision tomorrow. 25th of Morning Star, 4th Era, 189. I've been chosen. By some incomprehensible twist of fate, the Black Hand has named me the Night Mother's Keeper. In all honesty, I'm both incredibly honored and deeply saddened. This means the end of my contracts. I'll be lucky to lift a blade again. Thankfully, Rasha has promised me one final contract before I accept my new duties. 30th of Morning Star, 4th Era, 189. The jester lies dead. My final contract has been completed. Oh, how he laughed and laughed. Until he didn't. Third of first seed, fourth era, 189. I've settled well into my new role as keeper. It is my duty to not only keep the Night Mother's shrine clean and the candles lit, but to tend to the body as well. The Night Mother's crypt was a consecrated place, shroud, kissed, absent of sunlight, and safe from the world above. Removed from there, the remains are subject to the filth and corruption of the living. The body is perfectly preserved, so the concern is not physical, but rather spiritual. The remains must be sanctified regularly so that they may continue to serve as a conduit for the Night Mother's soul. Our matron's eternal spirit may travel the void freely, but it is through her own earthly remains that she communicates with the listener, and so I wash the corpse weekly with the requisite oils, recite the ancient incantations, and personally see to the extermination of any insects or rodents. If the Night Mother does not speak, it will be because she chooses not to, not because she is unable. This is my responsibility. This is my vow. 12th of mid-year, 4th era, 189. Months and months and months and no listener. Why won't the Night Mother speak to me? I am worthy as keeper, but not as listener. I protect Our Lady, keep her sanctified, but still she will not grace me with her voice. 4th of Sun's Height, 4th era, 189. So long since I worked my blade, so long since I saved a soul. But I am now keeper, no longer a taker. I think back fondly on my hours with the jester, his laughter, his screams, his pitiful cries, and then, as the end drew near, his laughter once more. Merry in death as well as life, I was honored to know him. First of Hearthfire, 4th era, 189. Cheydinhal has erupted into violence and chaos, like so many other cities before it. The sanctuary has remained unbreached, but for how long? Our numbers are few, and with no speaker, the contracts have dwindled almost to nothingness. Rasha's hold on the sanctuary is slipping. 21st of Frostfall, 4th era, 189. Silence. Deafening silence. In my head, in my head, in my head. It is the silence of death, the silence of the void, seeping into me through the mother. The silence is hatred. Silence is rage. The silence is love. 4th of Evening Star, 4th era, 189. Today, Rasha declared himself listener, claiming the Night Mother spoke to him at last. But when questioned, he could not name the binding words. Liar! Deceiver! His charade must not stand. 5th of Evening Star, 4th era, 189. Rasha is dead. As commanded by the silence, so did I obey. I did not wield the knife, oh no, but dipped the honey softly sweet into Gargnag's eager ear. He's a good brother, a loyal brother, to both Cicero and our matron. He did the deed gladly. 10th of Sun's Dawn, 4th era, 190. Only 3 of us left. Cicero, Garnag, Pontius. 15th of Sun's Dawn, 4th Era, 190. The Night Mother remains silent. I remain unworthy. The sanctuary remains doomed. 3rd of First Seed, 4th Era, 190. I can hear it. Deeper and deeper. Louder and louder. Punctuating the silence like thunder on a calm evening. Laughter. 4th of First Seed, 4th Era, 190. Laughing. 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 It is the jester. A voice from the void to cheer poor Cicero. I accept your gift, dearest Night Mother. Thank you for my laughter. Thank you for my friend. 16th of Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 191. Pontius is dead. A Dark Brotherhood assassin was killed by a common bandit while walking the streets of Cheydinhal. How can something so sad be so funny? 17th of Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 191. I love the laughter, dearest Night Mother, but still I long to hear your voice. It's not too late. Speak to me, my mother. Speak to me, that I may set things right. I can save the sanctuary. I can save the Brotherhood. You can have the laughter. Take it back. In exchange, then, the laughter for your voice? 2nd of Second Seed, 4th Arrow, 191. It's not safe to leave the sanctuary. We'll stay here. All is well. 29th of Last Seed, 4th Era, 191. Garnag is gone. Gone, 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 gone. Left to get food, but he'll be back. It's only been 3 months. 3 months. 3 months. 12 moths? 4 sloths. 21st of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 192. Cicero is dead. Cicero is born. The laughter has filled me so very completely. I am the laughter. I am the jester. The soul that has served as my constant companion for so long has breached the veil of the void, finally and forever. It is now in me. It is me. The world has seen the last of Cicero the man. Behold, Cicero, full of hearts, laughter incarnate. 28th of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 200. Found the old journal and decided to write a treatise on silence, sound, darkness, and light. How long has it been since Night Mother first came here? How long since I was made the keeper? How long since I became the fool? Since I've been alone? Since Cheydinhal fell? Since they started pounding on the door like so many hammered heartbeats? It's dark in here and quiet. Poor Cicero no longer hears the laughter, for he is the laughter. There is no listener in Cheydinhal, no listener in Cyrodiil, no listener in me. We must leave here. Before the sanctuary falls, before the Night Mother burns. before the dark brotherhood withers, before the laughter dies. 29th of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 200. I took a stroll and spied a maid, but matron's duty stayed my blade. So busy now, I miss the thrill. If only I had time to kill. 30th of Sun's Dusk, 4th Era, 200. I have written the letters, so polite, so official, to Astrid in Skyrim. Her sanctuary still stands, still operates. But how? No listener means no black sacrament. No black sacrament means no contracts. Her family can abandon the old ways and still survive, still kill? But is that family still brotherhood? Or something else? Something new? Something different? Something wrong? Something wrong. Still, we must go. Tomorrow, we set sail. Float on a boat through the moat called the sea, her and me. 22nd of Evening Star, 4th Era, 200. Sick of the rocking, tossing, rolling, throwing upon the gray waves. I've been reading of Skyrim, of the good days, the old days, and the old ways. There was another sanctuary once, a Dawnstar sanctuary. Good, ancient, and strong. Blessed by Sithis. Cicero will go there, no need of Astrid. The mother and I will settle, and she will speak to me finally, and we will build the old ways anew, together. 23rd of Evening Star, 4th Era, 200. The passphrase is mine. I have found it in a letter ancient as the sanctuary itself. The black door will ask, what is life's greatest illusion? I am to answer, innocence, my brother. Finally, a space, a place to call my own, a joker's retreat for the fool of hearts. 4th of First Seed, 4th Era, 201. The sanctuary is home, as I had dared hope, cool and dark and lovely, my sanctuary, sanctuary from all. I know its every corner, every hall, every shadowed nook and a clove. My sanctuary. The guardians know me, recognize me as keeper. They leave poor Cicero alone. The big ugly beast, a different story. He'd eat me if he could. But to bind me, grind me, he'd need to find me. And Cicero will make sure that does not happen. For I have sanctuary, sanctuary from all. 13th of First Seed, 4th Era, 201. The sanctuary is safety and salvation, but silent, so silent. I give my love to the unholy matron, I give my laughter freely, but I do not hear her. The silence has returned. Now that I am laughter, I no longer hear laughter. I once again hear the silence of the void. It reaches across time and space. Its silence is deafening once more. First of Rain's Hand, 4th Area, 201. Mother and keeper must go. I am not the listener, and never will be. But I am the keeper. I must serve my mother's will above my own. I must find her listener. I must teach Astrid the error of her ways, the beauty and the necessity of the old ways. I have sent the letter to Astrid. We leave soon, but Cicero will keep this sanctuary as his sanctuary. a place to rest and ply my trade, for I once more take up the blade and send some lucky souls to him, when laughter strikes as fits my whim.